When the gentle giant sheds its mask of composure to become a destructive machine, the entire savanna officially falls into a nightmare. What will happen when lions flee in panic? Rhinos are tossed around like toys, and all the rules of survival are crushed under the feet of a deranged individual. The day the rules collapsed. The elephant goes mad, and the brutal purge. In the midst of the most peaceful savanna, a towering shadow emerges from the horizon, bringing with it the death of the Musth era, a period when primal instinct devours all reason. From its temples, a thick, black, viscous fluid flows like the mark of death, its eyes blazing with hatred, replacing its former gentleness. The uncrowned king has awakened, but this time he brings no protection, only a bloody purge of any creature that dares stand in his way. The atmosphere thickens as the giant begins its rampage. Not far away, the rhinoceros family, seemingly impenetrable with their armored hides, were completely unaware of death approaching. Before Musth's fury, all of the rhino's defensive advantages became meaningless. Without stalking or waiting, the male elephant attacked directly with a roar that shook the forest. A cataclysmic collision ensued. The enormous trunk lashed down like a red-hot iron, its long, sharp tusks easily piercing the thick armor. The sheer force of 1,000 pounds transformed the confrontation into a one-sided execution, tossing the multi-ton creature away like a tattered toy, officially shattering the balance of the green savanna. The rage subsided, leaving behind a desolate battlefield and a chilling silence. When the rules are broken, even the strongest must bow before the uncontrolled cruelty of nature. What do you think of this destructive power of the giant? While the giant was consumed by rage, on the other side of the green oasis, a different order was operating perfectly. This was the territory of the lions, the unshakable lords of the jungle. The majestic male lions, with their thick manes, lay in ambush, their sharp amber eyes watching every move of their prey. For them, the savannah was a chessboard, and they were always the checkmaters. The hunt erupted like a whirlwind. With the coordinated movements of professional hunters, the lions quickly brought down a large buffalo, asserting the ultimate power of their fangs and claws. Amidst their proud roars, they began to enjoy their spoils under the scorching sun, completely confident in their invincible position. These lords of the savannah were unaware that the scent of blood from their recent hunt was the lure of a terrifying entity approaching. The demise of the rhinoceros family was merely the prelude to its bloodlust. The giant silently turned, heading straight towards the green oasis where a pride of lions was feasting on their recently slain prey. Under the scorching sun, the pungent smell of blood and musth emanated, signaling the arrival of an unstoppable force. For the first time in the history of the jungle, the greatest hunter had to experience the feeling of helplessness. The male lions, once proud of their thick manes and steel claws, could only growl in trembling fear as they faced a mountain of flesh and tusks hurtling towards them. No pack tactics were applicable, for the enraged elephant did not attack to eat. It attacked to destroy life. The battle erupted without warning. The male elephant let out a deafening roar, a terrifying sound like a death sentence tearing through the proud atmosphere of the lion pride. Instead of retreating as usual, the giant Musth charged directly into the center of the pack, turning the ground beneath his feet into a small earthquake. The most agile lionesses immediately dodged, but the male kings, blinded by pride, chose to stay and protect their spoils. It was a fatal mistake. The alpha male lion, who had just majestically brought down the large buffalo, now looked tiny before the elephant's pillar-like legs. It tried to deliver a warning blow, but the giant simply swept past with a thunderous trunk swing. The dry sound of breaking ribs echoed. The king of the savannah was flung dozens of meters away like a rag. The frenzy reached its peak when the elephant didn't stop there. It used its entire 1,000-pound weight to trample the lion's prey, then continued to pursue the remaining ones with an inexplicable hatred. A cloud of red dust rose, obscuring the horrific scene as the most formidable predators fled in humiliation, abandoning their territory and dignity. This was no longer a battle for survival, but a one-sided execution, where brute force had completely erased all laws of the strong and the weak. When the rage subsided and the giant silently departed, the savannah appeared as a desolate battlefield under the blood-stained sunset. Trees were uprooted, the ground cracked with giant footprints, and a deathly silence enveloped the land that once belonged to the ferocious kingdom. The rules of the savannah had collapsed, leaving a chilling lesson about the insignificance of all creatures before the uncontrolled fury of nature. In the world of nature, the most terrifying creature is not the one with the sharpest teeth, but the one possessing boundless strength, yet stripped of its sanity. Amidst the seemingly unstoppable frenzy of the giant, from the distant acacia grove, a deep, rumbling sound echoed, not a furious roar, but an ultrasonic frequency that vibrated the very ground. A herd of female elephants appeared, led by an old matriarch whose tusks were worn down by age, yet whose eyes radiated absolute authority. They did not flee like lions, nor attack like rhinos. The female elephants advanced into the battlefield with chilling composure. The matriarch stepped out of the ranks, blocking the path of the deranged male's slaughter. Faced with such extreme ferocity, she remained unfazed. The ultrasonic growls emanating from the female elephant's enormous chest acted like an invisible chain, tightly binding the male elephant's rage. This was a clash between blind violence and ancient wisdom. The giant Musth paused, his bloodshot eyes blinking rapidly as he faced the protector of his clan. His killer instinct clashed violently with the sacred bond of the herd. The other female elephants began to surround him, forming a circle, using their massive bodies and gentle trunk touches to soothe the surging testosterone. Gradually, the male elephant's rapid breathing slowed, and the mucus from his temples seemed to stop flowing. Under the pressure of herd authority, the machine of destruction began to lower its trunk to the ground, a sign of submission. The giant was no longer the harbinger of death, but merely a lost soul brought back to its natural order. The herd silently departed, carrying with it the giant whose rage had subsided, leaving behind a savanna beginning its first breaths of revival. The lions, from afar, began to creep back, but their pride had been completely crushed. The story of the enraged giant is not just about destructive power, but also a testament to a supreme law. In the natural world, no power is limitless, and even the most terrifying rage must bow before the unity and wisdom of the pack. The savanna returned to its bare stillness, but the scars under the sunset would forever be a reminder of the day the law collapsed under the feet of a deranged king. As the giant Musth departed, leaving behind a desolate savanna, another catastrophe began to unfold from the drying riverbeds. Under the scorching heat of the dry season, the once cool, green rivers were now nothing but thick, muddy pools. This is when another king emerges, possessing a ferocity even more unpredictable than a lion, the hippo. Normally, hippos quietly wallow in the water, but when their living space shrinks, their territorial instincts transform into extreme tyranny. The alpha male hippo, a muscular mass weighing over 2 tons with numerous scars, is turning the last stretch of the river into a bloody, forbidden zone. The first victim of this tyranny is none other than the crocodile, considered the killers of the water. On a normal day, crocodiles and hippos might ignore each other, but under the law of collapse, all peaceful agreements are torn apart. With just an accidental flick of the tail of the 4-meter-long crocodile, the male hippo immediately lunges forward like an amphibious tank. With astonishing speed in the mud, it bites the crocodile's sturdy body. The pair of fangs, half a meter long and as sharp as chisels, easily pierced even the toughest scales. The sound of bones shattering echoed through the murky water. The crocodile, which had never known fear, was now crushed and flung ashore as a cruel warning to anyone who dared trespass into the tyrant's territory. The nightmare didn't end there. The faint scent of muddy water lured the lions, exhausted after their escape from the rampaging elephant. These fallen lords, their throats parched, hoped to find life in this stretch of river. But they were mistaken. The hippopotamus didn't wait for the lions to touch the water's edge. It let out a deep, guttural roar, revealing its enormous mouth that could open up to 150 degrees. As the lions tried to inch closer, the hippopotamus charged with frenzied ferocity. There were no fangs, no tactics, only terrifying weight and pure brutality. The lions, having just escaped the tusks of elephants, now flee from the 1,000-pound bites of the swamp monster. The river has become a solitary fortress. The hippopotamus stands there, amidst the blood-stained water of crocodiles and the dust of the savannah, defying all laws of survival. If elephants are a temporary frenzy, then the hippopotamus is the symbol of an autocratic order, where the strongest not only want to survive, but want to possess all resources through boundless brutality. In the harshness of the scorching sun and mud, the savannah now has no place for pride or kindness. When these giants rise and tear apart all rules, the only lesson remaining under the sunset is the harsh reality of survival. The strongest is not the best predator, but the one who can transform their own madness into the law of the jungle.
The tall grass hides a lone hunter as fast as lightning, as silent as the night. But this time, he is surrounded. The pack comes, silent but fierce. The battle begins, one against all. There is no turning back. Botswana. The fierce battle between the Lone Ranger and the pack. Botswana. The heart of the wild. Where rivers thought to have disappeared in the desert come back to life after the rain, and where life quietly rises from the mud. On the flooded Okavango savannah, the call of survival rings out every dawn. Herds of antelopes drink cautiously, the shadows of predators lurking at every step. Botswana is not only a land of wilderness, but also one of the most pristine and complex ecosystems left on the planet. On this journey, we will uncover untold secrets, exploring the strange connections between hunter and prey. Witness a world where every living thing must fight to survive. Hidden among the dense trees, a tall, silent figure moves slowly. Leopard. The lonely and patient predator. They are the embodiment of elegance and death. Its golden fur is dotted with round black spots like wild daisies, helping it to almost disappear into the light and dark patches of grassland and jungle. Its body is slim and flexible like a living silk ribbon. Each step is light, almost silent. Under the soft skin is a system of strong and flexible muscles, allowing it to move with almost absolute precision. Its small head, erect ears, and amber eyes always shine brightly when observing its prey. Sharp teeth and retractable claws are the killing weapons, carefully protected until the moment of attack. Unlike lions or wild dogs, which hunt in groups, leopards are solitary hunters. Silence is their ally. Darkness is their cloak. And each attack is prepared by hours of intense stalking. In the Okavango Delta, where tall grass and dense shade form a natural maze, leopards are masters of stealth. Their favorite prey is the impala. They have agile legs and a keen sense of smell, but a moment of inattention can be useless. As the last rays of the afternoon sun beat down, the leopard began to move. It approached bit by bit, low to the ground, using every obstacle for cover. Ahead, an impala was grazing, unaware that eyes were fixed on its every move. Then suddenly, the leopard leaps forward at lightning speed. After a few minutes of chasing, the antelope cannot escape. A precise bite cuts off the struggle, ending the hunt. Only the heavy breathing of the predator, and the leopard drags the carcass towards the bush, looking for a safe place away from the robbers. In the wild, victory does not mean absolute safety. But now, only it and the worthy reward after many hours of silent waiting. In Botswana, every sunset reminds us that beauty and cruelty go hand in hand, inseparable. As the dry season gradually ends and the first rains water the land of Botswana, the leopard enters its mating season. Without the roars or fierce fighting of lions, the big cat's search for a mate is quiet but intense. The male follows a pheromone scent trail to find a female in heat. They spend several days together, mating several times an hour to ensure conception. After the male leaves, the female raises the new life alone. Gestation lasts about 3 months. In the shade of dense bushes or rocky crevices, she gives birth to 1 to 3 blind and weak cubs. When they are strong enough to climb, the cubs follow their mother to learn how to stalk and hunt. and after the mother leopard's hunt, the baby leopard learns how to hunt from a distance. The mother leopard uses all her muscle strength to pull the prey up a tree, away from potential robbers. Just like this is for the child waiting for a full meal. However, the ground has never been peaceful for too long. The smell of fresh prey has attracted a group of robbers without having to spend effort hunting. African wild dogs are one of the most intelligent and organized predators in the wild world. Their bodies are slender but sturdy, about 60 to 75 centimeters tall from the shoulder, with 4 long legs that help them run long distances. Their characteristic fur, mottled between 3 colors, earthy yellow, black and white, is unique. Like a natural fingerprint, it helps to identify individuals in the pack. Their large, round ears like plates not only help to dissipate heat, but also enhance their ability to hear at long distances. Wild dogs do not hunt alone. They are masters of team tactics. A pack can range from 6 to 20 individuals, sometimes more, with a clear social structure. The alpha pair breeds and the remaining individuals support, care for the young, and share food. After the leopard hunt, the African wild dogs have picked up the scent of new prey. The pack moves as a unified unit, communicating with hisses, short cries and body gestures. Hunger urges them to gather around the base of the tree, where the feast still smells of fresh blood. The pack of wild dogs surrounds the base of the tree, eyes raised to follow every movement of the leopard above. A few start to jump up the tree trunk, scratching at the rough bark, creating a threatening rustling sound. The pack rush towards the impala carcass without realizing it. The leopard had disappeared from the canopy. The air seemed to freeze in a breath. The two sides suddenly charged at each other. The fight broke out. The fatal bite left a wild dog unable to fight back. The wild dogs only had time to fight back to protect their own kind. But it was all too late. As the dust settled and the sounds of the battle faded into the distance, another scene appeared, peaceful and emotional. At the edge of the forest, where the gentle sunlight filtered through the sparse foliage, a female leopard was resting on a sun-warmed rock. Beside it, two cubs, with pale grey fur with indistinct black spots, were playing, nipping at each other's tails and climbing onto their mother's back. Each awkward jump, each fall was an early lesson in the strength, agility and silence needed to survive. A little further away, in an open space where bright light shone through the acacia trees, a troop of baboons was gathering noisily. They were much larger than ordinary monkeys, with sturdy bodies, long teeth and greyish-brown fur covering their bodies. Their black bare faces with deep-set eyes and long protruding snouts gave them a wild and powerful appearance. The dominant male, who could weigh more than 30 kilograms, sat towering among the grass like a warrior guarding his territory. His curved tail and strong limbs helped them move quickly and fight effectively when necessary. Baboons are primates that live in tight groups with a clearly hierarchical social structure. They are not just vegetarians. Intelligent and organized omnivores, baboons hunt using tactics rarely seen in other primates. When they spot small prey such as hares, lizards, or even young monkeys of other species, the entire troop will surround and coordinate to corner them. Large males usually lead the attack. With their sharp teeth and powerful bite, they can finish off their prey in seconds. The food is then divided among the priority individuals in the group, especially the leader and the female who is raising her young. Baboons breed all year round, but the peak season usually falls during the rainy season, when food is abundant and the environment is more favorable for the development of the young. The female is pregnant for about 6 months before giving birth to a single baby. In the first days after birth, the baby clings tightly to its mother's belly, eyes wide open, hands and feet firmly grasping every hair on her body. This attachment lasts for months. Every step, every jump, is the first lesson in survival, learned right on the mother's back. The maternal bond in a baboon group is a strong bond, but not enough to fight all dangers. In an ecosystem teeming with predators, baboons, despite their intelligence, organization, and willingness to fight back, are still tempting targets for other carnivores. But baboons are not the only characters on this fierce stage. As the trees begin to thin and the grasslands stretch to the horizon, a different face of the predator emerges. silent and dangerous in a completely different way. Spotted hyenas are complex social carnivores with incredible intelligence, often mistaken for scavengers. Their muscular bodies, high shoulders and forelimbs longer than their hind legs, give them a characteristic crouch-like gait, like those of a lurker. Their greyish-brown fur, covered with irregular black spots, round ears and glowing eyes at night, make them easy to spot in the savannah wilderness. The hyena's teeth are among the most powerful in the mammalian world, with enough bite force to crush large bones and turtle shells. But what makes this species truly dangerous is not its individual strength, but its ability to coordinate in packs. A pack of hyenas can number up to 30 individuals, led by a dominant female with a unique matriarchal social structure among carnivores. The appearance of the spotted hyena is always a haunting for every solitary carnivore in Botswana. Where a screech of laughter is the beginning of a nightmare, a war of dominance. The sun has just set behind the horizon. The atmosphere becomes thick. The wind stops blowing. In the quiet darkness, the yellow eyes of the leopard flash between the leaves. It is resting. From afar, laughter echoes through the clearing. A pack of spotted hyenas is approaching. Their eyes glow in the darkness. Their heavy footsteps on the dry grass make a steady sound, confident and threatening. They have smelled the prey that has just been killed by the leopard. An opportunity. They slowly walk forward. The leopard backed away slowly. Its golden eyes were still fixed on the hyenas that were hissing excitedly around the carcass. From the bushes it lowered itself, its entire body almost melting into the dark brown ground. Several large hyenas stepped closer to the prey, lowering their heads in complacency. In that moment, the leopard launched itself. But this time, the leopard could do nothing but retreat before the numbers and aggression of the spotted hyenas. In the distance, in the middle of the clearing, the leopard silently watched. It did not roar. It did not turn around. Because in the world of the lonely, sometimes survival is not about strength, but about the instinct to stop before the edge of death. But out there, in the vast, sunlit grasslands with no place to hide, another predator is preparing for its own life and death race. More slender, more daring, but also more fragile in the face of surrounding dangers. Cheetah. Master of speed. A warrior of the open space. With a slender body and 4 long legs, it is the perfect embodiment of speed and grace. Its pale yellow fur is dotted with black spots. Its black-rimmed eyes extend from the corners of its eyes to its muzzle, creating a fierce yet proud look. Unlike the leopard's silent stalking, the cheetah chooses to face its prey in the open space. Just one acceleration is enough to determine victory or defeat. It can accelerate from 0 to 100 km/h in just a few seconds. But the price to pay for that explosion is the exhaustion of its physical strength after each chase. The cheetah does not have the strength to fight for a long time, nor does it have claws sharp enough to climb trees. Its life is a series of short but cruel bets, where a small mistake can be exchanged for death. Unlike lions or hyenas, which live in complex herds, cheetahs breed entirely alone. Males and females only meet for short periods of time, mainly to mate. When the female is in heat, she leaves scent marks on grass, tree trunks, and the ground to attract males from a distance. The encounters are quiet. Mating can last several times over several days, after which the male leaves, leaving the responsibility of raising the cubs to the female. After about 3 months of pregnancy, a female cheetah will give birth to 2 to 4 cubs. During the first several weeks, the mother moves her cubs frequently. The survival rate of cubs is very low. Only a small percentage of them can survive to adulthood. And that is also the reason why cheetahs are always alert to any movement around them, even when hunting. While quietly moving deep into the open, sniffing a herd of antelope in the distance, the cheetah suddenly stopped. The wind carried a familiar scent. Not the scent of blood, but the scent of a formidable competitor. The spotted fur moved slightly among the sparse foliage. It was not prey. It was a leopard. The cheetah's eyes narrowed, the muscles under its skin tensing with each breath. Ahead, the leopard was slowly approaching. Two lone predators. The battle began. Both sides charged. The leopard could not fight long distances. It retreated. The leopard retreated slowly, each step showing confusion on its tense face, its tail fluttering with anxiety and fear. In a land where all life must fight to survive, there is no absolute victory. There are only moments of survival, where the strongest are not the most ferocious. But the one who knows when to quietly retreat or suddenly counterattack. Botswana, where every footprint in the grass tells a story. Every look, every pounce, every low growl is a primal instinct that has never been tamed. And when darkness falls on this land again, the battle will continue. No rest, no mercy. If you want to follow more wild encounters, survival instincts between predators, please subscribe to the channel and comment below so you don't miss any journey in the wild world.